space are both necessary for the existence of the body. Well, are time and space real? What time is it? Get on the telephone and talk to someone in your home country. Ask them what time is it, and see if it's the same time where we are here. Chances are it's not. Which one is correct? Both. As to what time, see? In a manner of speaking, we'd say both of us. So it would mean that time, which is changeable, alterable, is only really held together by agreement. What time it is determined by our agreement of what time it is. So it's just a concept held together by agreement. Space itself is a concept maintained by agreement. So the body is dependent upon two concepts for its existence. So if the body is dependent upon concepts for its existence, can the body itself be real? Well, then who am I if I'm not my body? I am this awareness that seems to be housed in this body, but what about this awareness? What is the nature of the awareness? See? Is this awareness that I'm identified with, that I call me, which is really the mind taking on the role of awareness? The mind playing like it is awareness. When I call me, myself, my history, my memory, all that comprises who I think I am, that's mind. It's also awareness, but it's a different quality of awareness. It's awareness in time again. This is a quality of awareness that is sustaining time itself, identified with time itself. And that's variable. So the mind itself is variable. If the mind itself is variable, it's not real either. It's something that we've accumulated, something that we've acquired. Again, it's something that we have the use of. As far as that our own memory is concerned, our own experiences throughout life, that we call mine, my, M-I-N-E, ownership, my experiences, my life. So we can say then that that's my ownership. That aspect of mind is mine. It belongs to me. But it's still just conceptual. So all this memory of mine, can you show me any of your past? You can't even see it for yourself except as memory. The past itself doesn't exist except as memory. It has no reality. It's totally conceptual. The future, it's totally conceptual too. Entirely conceptual. So the past and the future are entirely conceptual. Right now, this moment is real. We're here. You can hear what is being said. You can observe the one that is saying them. But it's only in the moment. Only in this instant. This moment is real, but the remembrance of this moment, the memory of this moment, the record, the recording of this moment is not real. Say, well, reducing it down to what really is real doesn't seem to be much of interest. See, we're so identified with what's not real, our memories, our thoughts, our attitudes, our patterns of thoughts. Is anyone with me? You see, all these things that we're identified with and giving real importance to, real credibility to, are not even real. They're just concepts. They're just appearances in consciousness. But this consciousness, not the mind, but the awareness itself that is prior to the mind, from which the mind draws, you see, its light of thought, its ability to remember, this awareness. This is real. But look and see and be honest with yourself. How often do you really consider the awareness that we are? You remember when you were a child in school and the teacher would maybe walk to the marker board, and maybe in those days it was chalkboards. Remember what a chalkboard is? And let's say the teacher walked to a chalkboard and just wrote I on the chalkboard. And stepped back and says, what do you see? And the class looked and says, I see I. Meaning what was written on the board, right? Is that usually what would happen? Now, who there in the class would say, usually, how often would there have been someone in the class saying, I see a chalkboard with I written on it? Is anyone with me?
Yeah.
Understand that awareness must be before anything else can be. If awareness is not, nothing else is. How often do we consider the awareness must be that is, which must be, before anything else? How often do we consider the awareness? Don't we more tune in with what we're aware of than the awareness itself that makes it possible for us to be aware of anything? So when we identify with what we're aware of, that's when mind enters, and we become more identified with the mind than we are with the awareness that must be before the mind can be. Now what we're looking at here is the significance of what is, what's real, what's true, what is dependable. Not what we're aware of, because that changes. What we're aware of is changing right now. I just moved my hand. You didn't see. You just saw my hand move. So the very vision, my moving my hand, speaking. Are you with me? It's all changing. It's not static. It does not remain the same. But what does remain the same? The awareness. The awareness remains the same. And without the awareness, none of the rest of it could even have any existence whatsoever.